It was the corporate war that captivated the entire K-pop world, a messy, public boardroom battle between HYBE and ADOR CEO Min Hee-jin. But just when the industry thought the dust might be settling, a new and far more personal explosion ripped through the heart of NewJeans, targeting one of its most beloved members. In late 2024, the unthinkable moved from rumor to reported fact. ADOR had initiated the termination of Danielle Marsh's exclusive contract. This wasn't a negotiation or a graceful exit. The language was legally vicious: termination with cause, implying a breach so severe it justified an immediate punitive end to her career with the group. The reason, according to sparse official statements, was a fundamental breakdown of trust, but the lack of concrete details created a vacuum instantly filled with frantic speculation. Had there been unauthorized contact with other agencies, a clash over artistic direction in the wake of the HYBE feud, or something more personal? The silence from ADOR was deafening, and for fans, that silence was terrifying, transforming Danielle from a central pillar of NewJeans into the center of a confusing and heartbreaking scandal overnight. But the true shockwave came with the financial numbers. This is where a sad story about a member leaving a group became a staggering legal and financial thriller. We're not talking about a simple fine. Industry analysts and legal experts examining standard K-pop contract structures and ADOR's own explosive revenue began to paint a picture of a penalty that was almost hard to comprehend. With ADOR's revenue surpassing $76 million USD in 2024 and the NewJeans contract running until mid-2029, calculations suggested the penalty clause alone could reach an astronomical 100 billion Korean won. That's approximately 70 million US dollars. Let that sink in. $70 million. This figure isn't plucked from thin air. It's based on a cold formula of the company's average revenue per member multiplied by the years remaining on the contract. And critically, this is just the penalty fee, a punishment for breaching the contract. It exists separately from additional damages ADOR could sue for, which would cover any specific financial losses they could prove her departure caused. This dual legal threat, penalty plus damages, placed Danielle in a position no 20-year-old idol, no matter how successful, should ever face. It was a financial death sentence designed to completely cripple her future earning potential, sending a brutal message about the cost of defiance within the K-pop system. To understand how this could even be possible, we have to look at the ecosystem that created it. The K-pop industry operates on a model of immense upfront investment. For a group like NewJeans, ADOR spent millions on years of rigorous training, top-tier songwriting and production, luxury marketing campaigns, and global promotion. The contract is designed to protect that investment at all costs. A termination with cause clause is the ultimate enforcement tool. Legally, Danielle's team now faces a mountainous two-front battle. First, they must challenge the cause itself, arguing that ADOR's claims are either unsubstantiated or don't meet the high legal bar for such a drastic measure. They might point to the documented internal chaos between HYBE and Min Hee-jin as evidence of a dysfunctional management environment. Second, they must fight the penalty amount. Korean courts can reduce these sums if they are deemed excessive, and a judge might question a $70 million penalty for a group that continues to promote and earn revenue with 4 members. However, the process itself is the punishment, a protracted, expensive legal war against a powerful label, with her entire career and personal finances frozen in limbo. The reaction from the global fan base was instantaneous and volcanic. Social media platforms became a digital crime scene, and support group rolled into one. Hashtags like "We Love You Danielle" and "Protect Danielle" dominated global trends for days. Bunnies became digital detectives, scouring every recent performance, photo, and Weverse live broadcast for clues. Was she standing slightly apart? Did she get fewer lines in the latest song? This obsessive analysis, while driven by love, often spiraled into unverified and sometimes harmful conspiracy theories. The fandom fractured dramatically. One large segment turned its fury directly on Min Hee-jin, accusing her of breathtaking hypocrisy, portraying herself as the girl's fierce protector against HYBE while allegedly orchestrating the legal destruction of one of them. Another, more subdued segment wrestled with the possibility that Danielle might have broken a major rule, even as they supported her. The scandal transcended typical K-pop gossip, becoming a mainstream news story covered by major international outlets who framed it as a dark expose on the exploitative potential of idol contracts, shifting the public narrative from fan fascination to critical scrutiny of the industry's power structures. So what happens now? Danielle's present is consumed by legal strategy, not music. Any public appearance or statement is meticulously calculated with legal counsel, as every word can be used in court. Her career paths have narrowed to a few incredibly difficult options. A settlement is the most likely outcome, but it would would come at a heavy price: a reduced but still significant financial penalty, a stringent non-disclosure agreement silencing her side of the story forever, and a multi-year non-compete clause that would prevent her from performing as a singer in Korea, essentially putting her idol career on ice until the late 2020s. She could attempt a pivot, returning to Australia for Western opportunities, or moving into acting or fashion. But the terminated label and the shadow of this lawsuit will be a part of her story for years. The irony is thick. The public sympathy for her is immense, and any future endeavor would likely have a built-in, passionately supportive audience. But would any agency seeing the legal and financial firepower arrayed against her by ADOR be willing to take the risk? This scandal is no longer just about Danielle or NewJeans. It has become a defining case study for the entire K-pop industry. It lays bare the terrifying imbalance of power where a young artist can be held liable for tens of millions of dollars for an alleged breach of trust. It exposes how idols, marketed as priceless family members, can become expendable pawns in corporate wars. The message to every trainee and active idol is chilling: your dreams are collateral for the company's investment. The outcome of this fight will set a precedent. If ADOR succeeds in enforcing anywhere near the full penalty, it will empower agencies to wield these clauses with even greater force. If the courts drastically reduce it, it may embolden other artists. As of now, the world watches a grim waiting game. Will this end in a quiet, confidential settlement that buries the truth, or will it escalate into a landmark public trial that could force a long overdue reckoning with the dark side of the idol contract? The future of one young woman, and perhaps the ethical boundaries of an entire global industry, now hangs in the balance.